Hi students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In the previous video, you have learnt about Biot-Savart law. Today we are going to see the applications of Biot-Savart law. There are basically three applications in which we will determine the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor, and then we will determine due to a circular current carrying conductor at two different points at the center of the coil, and we will also find at an axial distance. Let us see one by one. The first thing is magnetic field due to a long straight current carrying conductor. So let me assume there is a infinitely long straight current carrying conductor carrying current I. I want to find the magnetic field at any point located at some distance. Let this point be P and let this be located at a distance of D from it. So there is a wire of infinite length and I have assumed that this distance is D from this point, and let this point, let me name it as R. Now what I am going to do, to determine the magnetic field due to this current carrying conductor, I will first take a small current element. I hope you remember in Biot-Savart law we used to take the current element dl. So let that current element dl be present somewhere here, and let this distance be like L away from the point R. We have to also find the position vector, because we know that for using Biot-Savart law we need sin theta, and at theta is the angle made between the current element and the position and that point where we are finding the magnetic field. So let me join this dl with this point and let the angle between them be theta. I hope you have understood all the points. So I have taken a point P whose perpendicular distance from the wire is D. Then I have taken at distance L from R the current element, and the angle made by the current element and this point P is theta. Let this be R, the position vector R. Now let us apply the Biot-Savart law. So by using Biot-Savart law, we know that by using Biot-Savart law, what we know that dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl sin theta by R square. Now I will tell you, you have to remember some things. To proceed further, I will try to find dl, I will try to find sin theta, and I will try to find R square in some other terms. What term? In the term of this angle phi, right? Or the phi is the angle of P made with dl. Why I am taking phi, I will tell you at the end why this phi is taken, because that will help me in finding the magnetic field for the overall wire. I will say you how it will help you. So first let me try to make sin theta in the phi form. So I know that theta plus phi is equal to 90 degree. So I can write theta plus phi is equal to 90 degree. This is by geometry. By basic geometry I can tell that theta plus phi is equal to 90 degree. So from here I can write that theta is equal to 90 minus phi, isn't it? So I can write from here sin theta will be equal to sin 90 minus phi. What is sin 90 minus phi? Is it cos phi? So I can write from here sin theta is equal to cos phi. So now I got sin theta in terms of this thing, and it came to be cos phi. Next I will try to find R. So now I will take triangle ORP, and in this triangle let us try to find what is cos phi. So cos phi, if you say in this triangle, it will be D by R. So from here I will get the value of R, that will be equal to D by cos phi, that is equal to, so R became equal to D sec phi. So I got the value of R as D sec phi. So R square will be D square sec square phi. I hope you are understanding this. Then in the same triangle ORP, what will be tan phi? Tan phi will be equal to L by D. It will be L by D. So from here I get L is equal to D tan phi. But I need to find the value of dl. So I will differentiate on both the sides. So I will get, after differentiation, dl is equal to D sec square phi d phi. I hope you understand this, because we know that d by dx of tan x is equal to sec square x. So I got the value of dl as d sec square phi d phi. Now I will substitute all these things and my equation of dB becomes equal to mu naught by 4 pi I, instead of dl I will write d sec square phi d phi. For sin theta I will write cos phi, and for r square I will write d square sec square phi. So if you see here, sec square phi gets cancelled, this d and this 1d gets cancelled. So I get the expression of dB as mu naught by 4 pi into I by d, and what is remaining here, cos phi d phi. This is the value of magnetic field due to the small current element dl. But I want to find the magnetic field for the entire length. So for finding the entire length, now I will tell you why I took this value phi. So there will be some angle here, let the angle be phi 1 in the lower scale, and let the angle of the upper portion be phi 2 in the upper scale. So if this RP is assumed to be the reference line, then from this reference line phi 1 is the angle what this point P subtends to the lowermost point, and phi 2 is the angle subtended by P at the uppermost point. This wire can be infinitely long also. So I am just taking phi 1 and phi 2 are the angles subtended by P at the uppermost point of the wire and the lowermost point of the wire. So in that case, when I take the, if I find the entire magnetic field, the limit will be integration of dB, it will be from 0 to b, and here the integration will be from phi 1, or I should write minus phi 1 because this is the reference line, this is minus side. So minus phi 1 to phi 2 of this term, that is mu naught by 4 pi I by d into cos phi d phi. So only this term has this phi, this all term will become constant and come out. So this will become mu naught by 4 pi I by d integration of minus phi 1 to phi 2 cos phi d phi. So after, what is the integration of cos phi? Let us try to find. So integration of cos phi is sin phi, and then I will get the value of b as equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by d into sin phi, and the limit is from minus phi 1 to phi 2. So when you put the upper limit and lower limit, you will get the value of b as mu naught by 4 pi into I by d, and this will become sin phi 2 minus of minus sin 1, that will become sin phi 1 plus sin phi 2. This is the general expression of the magnetic field for an infinitely long straight current carrying conductor. Now there are two possibilities. First possibility what I will take, I will assume the wire to be infinitely long. So if the wire is infinitely long, let us see what happens. So case 1, if the wire is infinitely long, if wire is infinitely long. So if the wire is too much long, then this phi 1 will tend to become 90 degree, phi 2 will also tend to become 90 degree. So I can assume phi 1 is equal to phi 2 as 90 degree, and we know that sin 90 is 1. So this will become 1, this will become 1, this whole will become 2, and then I will get the value of b as mu naught by 4 pi into I 2I by d, 2 this gets cancelled, and finally you will get b is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi d. This is the value of magnetic field due to an infinitely long current carrying conductor. Second case, if I assume this point P to be in such a way that it is present at one of the ends of the wire. So here and like this. So one angle became 0 and phi 2 remains. So phi 1 became 0 and phi 2 is again tending towards infinity. So case 2, here one thing, wire is infinitely long and point P is taken at the middle from the perpendicular line. Here if same wire, infinitely long wire, but if P is taken at one end, then let us see what happens. Phi 1 becomes 0 degree and phi 2 becomes 90 degree. So sin 0 is 0, sin 90 is 1. So I will get B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi d. So we get the value of magnetic field as mu naught I by 4 pi d in the case if you are taking the point at one end of the wire, and if you take the point at the center of an infinitely long straight current carrying conductor, then you will get the value of B as mu naught I by 2 pi d. One more thing, what is the direction of the magnetic field in both the cases? Direction, since the current is in this direction, if the current is this direction, if I use my right hand thumb rule, then if I hold the wire in my right hand, the 4 fingers will be the direction of magnetic field. It will be inwards in both the cases. So for finding the direction of magnetic field, we always take the help of our right hand rule. What is the rule? If you hold the wire in right hand and if the thumb is giving the direction of current, then the 4 finger will give the direction of magnetic field. One more thing you will know from here. What you are knowing from this equation, what I am getting that B is inversely proportional to D. That means what? That means this B is inversely proportional to the distance of that point from that wire. So suppose there is a wire going, the D distance from this point here or here or here or here or here. I am trying to draw like this. All these points are D. All these points will have same magnetic field. Again, if I take a different D here, so if I take all the D points, it will have same magnetic field. That is the reason for a straight current carrying conductor, we say that magnetic field are concentric circles because B is inversely proportional to D. Next, we are going to see magnetic field due to circular current carrying loop at the center. So I will take one loop which is circular in nature, and this loop is carrying current I. It's something like this. I can assume current in any direction. Suppose it is entering from here, it will go like this, like this, like this, and it comes out. So I want to find what is the nature of magnetic field, magnitude and direction at the center. Direction we can say very directly, because see, if you hold this wire in this hand, it is towards inside the plane of the paper. Here also if you see, it is inside. Here also if you see, it is inside. So any direction if you take, hold the wire and point the direction of current as your thumb, then the 4 fingers will point inwards. So direction of magnetic field at this point O is inward. Now as I said you, to use the Biot-Savart law, we must take a current element. So let this current element dl be there, and let this dl be present here, and this is the r vector or distance. Now let us try to find what is the angle made between dl and r. So if you see dl, it is a tangent, and we know by the property of the circle that all the tangents will make 90 degree with the center of the circle. So the angle between dl and r is 90 degree. So by Biot-Savart law, we know that dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square, and here we have understood that theta is equal to 90 degree. So sin 90 is 1, so I get dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl by r square. This is the current element or the magnetic field for the small current element. For finding the entire finding the magnetic field for the entire loop, we have to integrate on both the sides. So integration of dB, limit from 0 to b, will be equal to, here the integration will be for the whole wire. So 0 to L of mu naught by 4 pi I dl by r square. All these things will come outside. It is mu naught by 4 pi I by r square, integration of dl 0 to L. So I will get B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into, what is L? So what is the length of this loop? Isn't it 2 pi r? It is the circumference, that is 2 into pi into radius is r divided by r square. So here 2 pi, this becomes 2, r, this gets cancelled. So I get the magnetic field at the center of the current carrying loop as mu naught I by 2 r. So in the previous case, in the case of magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor, I got the value of magnetic field as mu naught I by 2 pi d, if I am right, and here I got mu naught I by 2 r. Many students will get confused in this. They will write for the circular loop as 2 pi r and for that as 2r. Thinking pi term is linked with the circle, so they will do that. Please don't do that mistake. The value of a magnetic field for a straight current carrying conductor is 2r, and for the circular loop it is 2 pi r, and for circular loop it is 2r. So magnetic field at this point is at center of the circular current carrying loop is mu naught I by 2r. And if this loop has n number of turns, if loop has n turns, then the value of magnetic field becomes mu naught Ni by 2r. Now we will see the third application of Biot-Savart law, where we will find the magnetic field due to current carrying circular loop at its axis. What is the meaning of that? If this is a loop, then I am going to find at the axis of it somewhere here. So previously what I did, if this was the loop, I found at the center of the loop. Now I am going to go an axial distance somewhere here, and here I am going to find. If I draw it on the board, I will draw it something like this. I hope you are understanding why I am drawing the loop in this direction, like oval shape, because it is not in this plane, it is in this plane. I hope you are understanding this. And from its center, I will go some distance. Let us distance from the center be d, and the d apart. I am going to find at this point P what is the magnitude of magnetic field. So let the current flowing through the conductor be like this. Current be I, flowing in this direction, and I will take the current element. So I will take one current element in the top, dl, and same current element in the bottom, let this also be dl. And due to both of these elements, I will try to find what is the magnetic field in P. Again, you will understand at the end why I am taking these 2 points up and down. So first let us see from dl, from this point. From this point, if I want to find the magnetic field at P, I want to join this point, which will be the position vector. Let this be r. Fine. Now, what is the angle made between dl and r? Definitely, see, this is the loop and this is the point. These two will make an angle of 90 degree. Now, don't think this is the angle. I am not talking about this angle. I am not talking about this angle. I am talking about the angle between this r and this dl. dl is a tangent and this is the r. So, the angle made between this tangent and this r is always 90 degree. So, I can say that theta. So, if you by using Biot-Savart law, what I will come to know? By using Biot-Savart law, expression is dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Here theta is 90 degree. Since theta is 90 degree, I will get the value of dB as mu naught by 4 pi into I dl by r square. Fine. Now, what you have to understand is what is the direction of magnetic field at P. That dB will be inwards. I cannot draw that inward diagram now. So, I will draw it somewhere like this. Let this be dB. Let the angle phi made between this point OP and O, and let this be some x. Now, if this angle is phi, understand this dB is not here actually, dB is inside, but since I am not able to draw this dB inside, I am drawing it like this. Fine. So, the angle made between r and dB, if you see this is r and this is dB, this is always 90 degree, because we know that the angle this point dB is inward. So, the angles, this is r and this is dB, it is like this. So, the angle made between r and dB is 90 degree. So, by that, if I draw a line here, reference line, and line here, a reference line, then you come to know that this angle also becomes phi. How it becomes phi? Because if this is 90 degree, this is also 90 degree, the angle between dB and this r is 90 degree, and even this is 90 degree. So, this both are 90 degree, this will phi, this also will become phi by basic geometry. So, if this is phi, this will be dB cos phi, and this will be, this direction I will have dB sin phi. By the same way, if I join this dl with this at the same angle phi, then I will get dB in this direction. This will be again inwards, and this will be dB sin phi, and here I will get dB cos phi. Now, dB cos phi and dB cos phi, they are equal and opposite in nature, which will cancel out each other, and dB sin phi and dB sin phi, they will add up. Now, someone can say, so that means the net B will be equal to 2 dB sin phi? No, because I have taken 2 current elements dl. Like that, we will have infinite number of elements, and all these infinite elements will produce one dB sin phi, dB sin phi, dB sin phi, dB sin phi. There are numerous numbers of dB sin phi. So, the net magnetic field will be equal to integration of this dV sine phi. So now let us try to write sine phi. In this sine phi, write here sine phi in terms of this d and r, that will be equal to this is phi. Let this distance be, I can name it as here s. So it will become s by r. So I get from here sine phi is s by r, and dB already I know from here, that is equal to integration of mu naught by 4 pi I dl by r square, and sine phi I can write it as s by r. Then it will become integration of mu naught by 4 pi I s dl by r cube. Now integrations are only for this dl, so I will write it as like mu naught by 4 pi I into s by r cube integration of dl, so 0 to L, and integration of dl is again a circle, so it is 2 pi s, not 2 pi r, 2 pi s, because s is the radius of the circle. So I will get finally b is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I into s into 2 pi s by r cube. Now 2 pi, this will become 2 times, and I will get the final expression of b as mu naught into I into s square by 2 r cube. Now this equation can be written in terms of s and d also. How I can write? From here I know that r square is equal to s square plus d square. So r is equal to s square plus d square power 1 by 2, that is root of that, and already 3 is there, so it will become 3 by 2. So I will get the expression of b as mu naught I s square by 2 into s square plus d square power 3 by 2. So many books you will find this expression of this b. See, I have taken this s, d and all these things in my way. In book it may be a or r or d, it can be anything. The concept remains same. The magnetic field value is mu naught I s square by 2 s square plus d square power 3 by 2, where s is the radius of the circle and d is the axial distance of the point where you are finding the magnetic field. Now someone can ask, so if we apply this formula for finding the center of the loop, can we get the answer same as what we got in the previous derivation? Yeah, we will get. So if you take the point P at the center, so what will happen? At center, d will become equal to 0. When you put d is equal to 0 here, I will get b is equal to mu naught I s square by 2, and this square will get cancelled, it will become s cube, s square will become s. So finally we will get b is equal to mu naught I by 2s. You remember there I got mu naught I by 2r because I took r as a radius of circle, but here I am taking s as a radius, so I get mu naught I by 2s, which is exactly same than what we found in the previous case. So this is the main formula. This you can get if you take at the center. So we've learned today the application of Biot-Savart law, in which we saw that Biot-Savart law can be used to find the magnetic field for a straight current carrying conductor, and you got the value as mu naught I by 2 pi a. Remember this. Also we found the magnetic field due to a circular loop at the central point, and then if I found the magnetic field due to a circular loop at the axial point. So with this I am ending today's video. In next video you will learn more about this chapter. Till then, please like the video, subscribe our channel and share with your friends.